Sharing time with Deputy Mayor Sullivan as well, 5 minutes each or so. I suppose the list of stuff that you could actually talk about in relation to rural Ireland, and that's probably endless, and especially seen by some of the previous speakers. And given the limited time that I have, I'm going to focus very much just on the rural towns and villages, because I think that is, from my point of view, I think that is the key to actually making sure that rural life can be maintained. And also, I think I want to just mention briefly as well the offshore islands, because I think they are vitally important too, particularly in Donegal, Arnmore Island, Tory Island. That's about the life of rural Ireland and maintaining that life. And what we have to do is make it possible for people to live and make a living on our offshore islands, and that's the only way that you can keep them populated. Donegal County Council did try in the 70s to depopulate, I think, Tory Island, and we saw where that got them. That's the wrong way to go, and what we should be doing is making sure that people can live and work on our offshore islands and raise their families there, because that's vitally important. And we've seen, obviously, we see on Twitter now regularly that how the community in Arnmore Island have secured funding from AIR for broadband on the island. That's, in a way, that's sad, that they had to go and win a competition with a private company to actually get them, and then be part of their advertising, and actually to get a service that people in rural Ireland should have as of right. And I think that's a sad reflection on us as a Parliament, and a sad reflection on your government as well, that's the way the best way that people can hope to get services. In relation to our towns and villages right across the County Donegal and across the country as well, I think it's vitally important. And what actually should be done, and what the government should be doing, is looking at ways to open up those towns and villages. Because there is a reason why people look for planning permission on land outside towns and villages. It's because they own the site. They can reduce the cost on themselves and their families in actually developing that. And I believe that if there was options available for them that were reasonable, and that they would avail of those options rather than actually developing and building in the countryside. And that's very simple how you could do that. Like the towns and villages outside, there's a small village outside Killybegs, Duncanely. Post office recently closed. There's loads of people living in the countryside around that town, and nobody, or very few people, living in the heart of it, and that's what should be done. But you won't do that, because the property is king, and property rights are king for everybody. But what the state should be doing is going in and taking over ownership, either CPO in it or whatever, taking ownership of the sites, the houses, and the land that's in the hearts of those villages, and making it available to the people from that community. So the people from the parishes around Duncanely could actually live in Duncanely, and that would revitalise the shops, revitalise the pubs, keep the post offices open, and have the people living in their own communities as well. And that right across, I could name every village across Donegal, and that would be a benefit for every single one of them. Indeed, even in my own town in Killybegs, in the main street in Killybegs, there's less than 20 people living in it. Because they have no, the people that own the properties have no tax benefits or anything like that they can do avail of it. But the state could actually step in there and make those properties living again, make them live again, and get people back living in the hearts of the towns and villages. Like, the population of Killybegs has declined, but the population of the hinterlands all around it has blown up over the last 20 years, because people cannot get sites, cannot get land in the towns and in the villages where they're from, so they have to go outside the towns and villages and build there in order to live in the communities that they want to be part of, and they've grown up in, and they always want to be part of. But the state is never doing that, and is not doing that, because you have this crazy vision that property is everything and you have to protect property. You have to do more. You have to protect the people, and you have to protect the countryside and the people that live in it, and make it a vibrant and living community. And that's the way that you do it, and that's the way you protect the whole countryside. And the town's been named by every member in here during this debate, and they're all suffering from the same thing. They're all suffering from people who can't make any benefit out of it, because you're whole driven on the private sector and tax breaks. Get in there, the state, and open up those towns and villages, and then you'll see people actually going back and living in them. Thank you.